The jungle is swallowing them alive. 3 miles deep into hostile territory, Lieutenant Sarah Mitchell's team is pinned down behind a collapsed stone wall. Bullets tear through the humid air. The extraction point is compromised. The enemy is closing in from 3 sides. And her team is about to give up. "We're not making it out of here," Sergeant Hayes shouts over the gunfire, his voice cracking with panic. "We need to surrender before they execute us." Sarah's heart pounds in her chest. She can see it in their eyes, the resignation, the defeat. They've lost hope. But what hurts more than the bullets is the look on their faces when they glance at her. Doubt. They don't believe in her. They never have. Because Sarah Mitchell has always been the one they overlooked. The quiet one. The shy girl who barely spoke up in briefings. The officer they whispered about. She only made it through because they needed women in the program. The one they mocked during training, calling her too soft for special operations. She was bullied, humiliated, told she didn't belong. And now, in this moment of absolute chaos, they're looking at her like she's the reason they're going to die. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button and let us know in the comments which country you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. Sarah Mitchell grew up in a small town in Montana, the daughter of a librarian and a high school teacher. She was quiet, bookish, and spent most of her childhood buried in novels about heroes and warriors. She joined the Navy at 18, dreaming of serving her country. But she was never the loudest, never the strongest, never the one anyone expected to succeed. To everyone around her, she was just ordinary. What they didn't know, what no one knew, was that Sarah Mitchell had a secret. When she was 16, her grandfather, a retired Marine recon officer, taught her something that changed her life forever. He taught her survival. Not the basic kind they teach in boot camp. No, this was extreme survival. The kind that keeps you alive in the most impossible situations. Tracking, evasion, navigation without instruments, hand-to-hand combat in close quarters, psychological warfare, and most importantly, how to stay calm when everyone else is losing their minds. For 2 years, every weekend, Sarah trained in the Montana wilderness with her grandfather. He pushed her harder than anyone ever had. He taught her to endure pain, to think 3 steps ahead, to become invisible, to survive when survival seemed impossible. She never told anyone, not during basic training, not during SEAL selection, not even during Hell Week, because she didn't want to be the girl who needed to prove herself. She just wanted to serve. But now, with her team falling apart around her, that secret was about to surface. The mission was supposed to be simple: reconnaissance and extraction of a high-value target from a remote village. In and out, no contact. But intelligence was wrong. The enemy was waiting. The ambush was brutal. 2 members of her 6-person team were injured in the first minutes. Extraction helicopters were turned back by anti-aircraft fire. And now, surrounded and outgunned, her team was crumbling. "Mitchell, we need a decision," Corporal Davis shouted, blood running down his arm from a graze wound. "What do we do?" Sarah's mind raced. Every tactical option led to failure. Every route was compromised. And then she heard it, the whisper from Sergeant Hayes to another team member. "We shouldn't have never trusted her with this. She's going to get us all killed." That familiar sting, the same words she'd heard during training, during selection, during every evaluation where someone doubted her. But this time,
Something inside her shifted. She wasn't going to let them die because they didn't believe in her. She was going to show them. Sarah stood up, her voice cutting through the chaos like a blade. "Everyone, stop shooting. Conserve ammo. We're moving in 60 seconds. Hayes stared at her like she'd lost her mind. "Moving! They'll mow us down!" Sarah's eyes were ice-cold. "Not if they can't see us." She moved fast, faster than any of them had ever seen her move. She pulled out a small survival kit from her vest and began working. From the jungle floor, she grabbed mud, leaves, charcoal from a burnt tree stump. Within seconds, she'd created camouflage paste and began smearing it on her face and arms. "What the hell are you doing?" Davis asked. "Surviving," Sarah said flatly. "Now shut up and do exactly what I say." She handed each of them a fistful of materials. "Cover your skin, dull your gear, move low, follow my lead, don't speak, don't run, blend." Her voice had transformed. It wasn't the shy, uncertain Sarah anymore. This was someone else entirely. Within minutes, she had her team camouflaged. Then she studied the terrain, reading the jungle like a language only she understood. "There," she whispered, pointing to a narrow ravine hidden by overgrowth. "That's our way out. The enemy won't expect us to move toward their position." "That's suicide," Hayes hissed. Sarah locked eyes with him. "No, surrender is suicide. Trust me or stay here and die." Something in her gaze silenced him. They moved. Sarah led them through the jungle like a ghost. Every step was calculated, every breath controlled. She used the terrain, the shadows, the sounds of the enemy's own movement to mask theirs. Twice, enemy soldiers walked within feet of them and never saw them. The team was speechless. Whoever this woman was, she wasn't the person they thought they knew.
They were almost clear. The extraction point was half a mile ahead. Sarah could hear the distant whir of helicopter blades circling, waiting for the all-clear. But then, a shout. One of the enemy scouts spotted a broken branch Sarah's team had disturbed. Within seconds, the jungle erupted. Dozens of hostiles converged on their position. Gunfire shredded the trees around them. They were trapped in a rocky clearing. No cover, no escape. Hayes was hit in the leg. Davis pulled him behind a boulder, but they were surrounded. "This is it!" someone screamed. "We're done!" Sarah's heart hammered, but her mind was crystal clear. She scanned the environment. A cliff to the left, dense undergrowth to the right, a narrow river below. She had one option, one impossible, insane option. "Everyone, en mai," she barked. "We're jumping." "What?" "The river below. It's our only shot. Jump, swim downstream, rendezvous at the secondary extraction point." "That's a 40-foot drop into rapids," Hayes shouted. "We'll die." Sarah grabbed him by the vest and stared into his eyes. "You'll definitely die if you stay here. Trust me. Jump." And without waiting for a response, she sprinted toward the cliff and leaped. For a heartbeat, the world went silent. Then, splash! The icy water hit her like a sledgehammer, but she kept her body controlled, angling with the current just like her grandfather taught her. One by one, her team followed. They survived the fall, they survived the rapids, and 15 minutes later, battered and gasping, they crawled onto the riverbank just as the extraction helicopter descended. Back at base, the debriefing room was silent. The commanding officer stood at the front, reviewing the mission report. Sarah sat quietly, exhausted, her hands still trembling slightly. Then the CO looked up. "Lieutenant Mitchell," she stood. "I've read the statements from your team. Every single one of them says the same thing." He paused. "You saved their lives. Against impossible odds, you brought them all home." Sergeant Hayes stepped forward, limping slightly. His face was different now. No more doubt, no more mockery. "Sir, I need to say something." He turned to Sarah. "You were wrong about me.
Dead wrong. You're the best officer I've ever served under, and I'm sorry for every damn thing I said." One by one, the rest of the team stood and echoed him. Tears welled in Sarah's eyes, but she didn't let them fall. The CO extended his hand. "You've earned something beyond respect, Lieutenant. You've earned legend status. The mission is classified, but your name won't be forgotten." Later that night, alone in her quarters, Sarah sat on her bunk and pulled out an old faded photograph. Her grandfather in his marine dress blues. She smiled. "Thanks, Grandpa," she whispered. "I survived." Before you go, tell us in the comments, which country are you watching this video from? And don't forget to subscribe to Her Force Tales for more incredible stories, and hit like, share, and comment to support the channel.